Rubio in the conference room downstairs. Today, we will start this morning service with sutra chanting San Butsuge, led by our officiant, Mr. Bill Teague. It's located on page 44 of the service book.
Thank you very much, Ava. Kogengi gi jin mugoku nyo zemyo muyo tosha nichigatma nishuko enyo kaishin onpei yunyaku jumoku nyorai yogen chose murin shogaku daion koru jippo kaimon shojin sanmai chie itoku muryo shusho keu mintai zennen shobutsu hokai yonen jin no kugo gaitai Mumyo yoku nu se son yomu nin no shishi jin toku muryo kukun kodai chie jimyo komyo iso shindo daisen ganga sabunzai shoho o Kado shoji mi fuge daten fuse joi kai nin shoten nyoze sanmai chie ijo kosei toku buten fugyo shigan isai kuku isa dayan keshi ubuten byaku sen nokuman muryo dai shoshu nyo goja kuyo isai shito shobuten punyo gudo kensho fugyaku hinyo goja shobuten seikai bufu kage mushu setendo komyo shisho hen shisho koku nyoze shojin ijin nanyo yoga sabuten koku dodai ichigo shukimyo dojo chozen yoku nyo raigon imui to shogo to I mean modaten isai jiporai shoshin natsu shojo igo to koku keraku ano kobuten shin myoze ga shinsho hotengan koi kiki shosho yoku jippo se son chie muge jokyo shison chiga shingyo keyo shinshi shoku dokuchu ga gyo shiojin jinju fuke namandabu 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 Ganishiku 도덕 여러 세이사이 논보 나이신 오조 안락하고. Hands together in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Dabs, Namo Dabs, Namo Dabs. Thank you very much.
Please rise for the recitation of Gratitude for Jodo Shinshu Teachings. This is a new recitation written by Gomonshu Otani Kojun, which can be found inserted into the service books. Gratitude for Jodo Shinshu Teachings. Namo Amida Butsu. Entrust yourself to me. I will liberate you just as you are. This is the calling of Amida. My blind passions are embraced in the Buddha's awakening. So the Buddha calls to me, I will liberate you just as you are. Gratefully responding to the Buddha's call, I find that I am already on the path that leads to the Pure Land, and the Nembutsu flows freely from my thankful heart. Living with the Dharma as my guide softens my rigid heart and mind. Gratitude for the gift of life I have received frees me from becoming lost in greed and anger, and allows me to share a warm smile and speak gentle words. Sharing in the joy and sadness of others, I shall strive to live each day to its fullest. Gasho, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Please be seated.
We will now listen to the Dharma message by our temple certified minister's assistant, Mr. Bill Teague.
Thanks very much. I was very happy to be asked to help out today, and especially happy to be asked to say just a few words about temple etiquette. And I'm tried to focus on one thing that everybody could remember. So that'll have to do with right versus left. But let me ask a question right now. Dharma school students only, you know that the statue of the Buddha has one hand raised, right? So which hand is it, right or left? Let me take a look. Correct. Now, when you put your hands together in Gasho, Dharma school students, adults if you'd like to, this Gasho posture also has an important right and left. So, just like the Buddha reaches out to us with his right hand, the right hand, when we put our hands together like this, is us. And the left hand, I've got this wrong. I knew I would do this. I'm dyslexic. The left hand is us, and the right hand is the Buddha. Just like the Buddha has his hand up on the right. Now, those of you who are left-handed, don't feel bad about that. Throughout civilization, the folks who are more tending towards right-handedness than left-handedness decide that they're going to make the right hand the one that they focus on. But we're lucky because some of you, if you can keep in mind that when you put your hands together on Gasho, that the right hand is you and the left hand is the Buddha, it helps you remember some of the other etiquette. So the other question I had for you, when the Buddha, Amida Buddha, has his hand raised, what gesture is he making? Do you remember? What's that? So it just happens that the mudra, and this was designed to mean other things as a symbol for us in the United States, is the OK sign. So Amida Buddha is always going to be okay with you, okay? So don't worry about the rules if you don't get them right all the time. Remember, Amida Buddha's up there saying, okay, it's okay, all right? But it is nice if you know what the etiquette means. So for example, when you enter the temple at the door from the foyer into the hondo, we're asked to go ahead and step forward with our left foot. Now there's different ways to remember that. Maybe you've seen movies in the military where the drill sergeant says left, right, left, right. So that's okay. That's one way to remember. And if you remember that when we enter, we're entering to hear the words of the Buddha, so it's just ordinary, it's just us. So we're going to enter with our left foot. Because the right foot represents the Buddha in this case. And later on when we leave, we exit with the right foot. So some of you have already gotten your etiquette when you enter the temple, but it's considered good form just at the doorway to bow slightly, just a little bow, and come forward with your left foot. Left, right, left, right. And then later on, when you leave, like you're going to leave today to go to your Dharma school classes, go ahead and turn and face the altar before you leave. Face the Buddha, bow slightly, and you exit with your right foot. Because you were able to spend time with Buddha here. You were able to hear the teachings of the Buddha. So you carry a little bit of that Buddha teaching with you. You carry a little bit of the Buddha with you when you leave. So come in on your own, leave feeling different because you've spent time with the Buddha and his Dharma. Enter with the left, representing how we are most of the time. Exit with the right, being one with Buddha. Now the same rules apply when you offer incense. So let me just go ahead and demonstrate that. First, I'll be facing the altar, and then I'll go ahead and face you from the side. I mean, I'll turn to the side so you can see what's happening. So we're asked to go ahead and bow slightly. Again, come forward on the left foot. Take a few grains of incense. Put our hands together in Gasho and bow more deeply. And then step back on the right foot. Let's try it from the side. For those of you here in the sanctuary. So you come to in front of the incense burner, slight bow, step forward left, pinch of incense, put it together, hands together in Gasho, bow more deeply, and then a slight step back with your right foot and a light bow. I've got my hands together, but you would only have to do that for the main bow. You may even notice Some adults will go ahead and recite the Nembutsu when they're at the altar. Just as for those of you who may not choose to be involved in incense, but would still like to pay your respects, can go ahead and approach the altar and recite the Nembutsu. So the same thing would be the case. You take a step forward, left foot, slight bow, hands together in Gasho, recite the Nembutsu, deep bow, hands down, and a small step back, right foot. There are rules about the temple, but it's more useful to know what they mean so you appreciate them than just thinking of them as rules. There's one other thing I'll just mention today, and that is that in the service books, there's a tradition that we respect them a lot. So even in Japan, but to a degree, here in the United States, we try and follow it. It's sometimes hard. But the idea is that we want to elevate the book a little bit so we don't put it on the floor. Now, more ordinarily we wouldn't do that, but in Japan, if you'll recall, very often they're in a room, a tatami room, where people sit on the floor. So they would not put this Buddha's teachings on the floor. And the same way, if you're sitting in the pews, if possible, try not to set it down on the cushion, because that's where people's backsides have been resting, so it's not as respectful. In the United States, this isn't always so prevalent, and you're often put in a position where it's not even practical. Here in the pews, for example, if you're sitting in the front row, sometimes you have to shuffle things around, and maybe you need to set the book down on your side. It's okay. But just so you know, in general, we respect the book. If you watch the ministers closely, when they start chanting, they'll go ahead and raise the book up because they're thanking the Buddha for these teachings. And sometimes you may even see the folks sitting in the pews do the same thing. It's just a nice feeling. We're respecting the teachings of the Buddha. So you already have a bunch of rules, but just go ahead and practice them. If you get it wrong, no big deal. The Buddha says, okay, you're okay as you are. But as you spend more time with the Buddha, just to be nice, try and follow the rules. And just like if some of you have been dancing the Bon Odori, we always look for a good teacher that we can follow so we're making the right movements. It's always fine to look to your teachers in Dharma school and follow their example. Not a big deal, but just a nice thing to do. So that's my Dharma school message for today. I really appreciate your kind attention. And now we're going to put our hands together on Gasho. And to review, the left hand is us, the right hand is the Buddha. Please recite after me the name of Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandab, Samadab, Samadab. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Teague, for your message. At this time, could everyone please rise for our recitation of our pledge? Breaking out of my shell, I will share a warm smile and speak gentle words, just like the kind Buddha. Not becoming lost in my greed, anger, and ignorance, I shall think and act with an open mind, just like the calm and peaceful Buddha. Not putting myself first, I will share in the joy and sadness of others, just like the compassionate Buddha. Realizing the gift of life I have received, I shall strive to live each day to its fullest, like the Buddha who tirelessly works to liberate all. Name Dabatsu. Name Dabatsu. Name Dabatsu. Please be seated.
Today we're going to be celebrating September birthdays. So if anyone has a birthday in the month of September, please come up to the front. And don't be shy. Okay, please say your name and your birthday, just the date.
I'm not afraid. Joyce, I'm 75.
Oh, you can just say like the date. Like you don't have to say your age.
I'm proud to be alive at 75. I'm sorry, I'm boasting.
I'm Annika. My birthday was September 21st.
Name? Tyler. When's your birthday? September 20. 21. Yeah. Same as yours, yeah. Not me.
Oh, okay.
I'm Miss Kimberly. My birthday was September 9th.
Wow. Happy birthday. Now we're going to sing happy birthday to our Dharma friends. And we're all going to sing. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Dharma friends. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Please take a gift for your birthday.
Not the bell.
At this time, are there any announcements?
Good morning. Good morning. Ohayo gozaimasu. What are you doing here today? Well, I heard that the Dharma School is participating in a drive to collect new stuffed animals for Ronald McDonald's charities. Really? Yes. They're going to be starting on October 2nd, which is next Sunday, and anyone is welcome to bring a stuffed animal, either new or that's freshly made, and we will donate them to the Ronald McDonald's Charities, which benefits families that are in need or children that are in need at the Children's Hospital. Great. I'm glad I came. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Like Bill mentioned, I will be leading a Dharma discussion after this service. It will take place downstairs in the conference room, and I'm kind of titling this discussion, Destiny, Fate, or Karma. So everyone's invited. Hope to see you there. Thank you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Next year, the Honganji in Kyoto is observing the 800th anniversary of the Jodo Shinshu school of Buddhism that we're part of, and the 850th anniversary of Shinran Shonin's birth. And that will happen in May of 2023. And for the commemoration, the Buddhist Churches of America is going to be offering a Monto Shiki show just for that occasion. And if you're interested in purchasing one, the cost is $35, and the temple will be taking orders until November 13th. And so the sheet, the information on the Monto Shiki show describes what the features of the sash are, and then there's a order form that will be downstairs as well. So please sign up for that if you'd like to purchase one. And it'll also be good for those who will be traveling with the San Diego group to Japan next year to participate in the Shinran Shonin commemoration and the World BWA Convention. Thank you.
This will conclude today's service. Thank you, Mr. Bill Teague, for the Dharma message and for officiating today's service. Thank you, Mr. Arturo Rubio, who will lead Dharma School for Adults. Thank you, Mr. Teague and Reverend Honda, for the live stream broadcast. And thanks everyone for attending. Next, Mr. Teague will lead us in closing gasho, and Dharma School students will be dismissed to classes, and adults may proceed to the conference room for the Dharma School for Adults discussion.
Thank you. Before closing gasho, special thanks to the high school class for being the chair. They did a lovely job. And also thank you all for your kind attention. I hope that you've enjoyed this informal service. It's unofficiated, but we got through it anyway, so I appreciate it. I'm very happy to serve here as the Dharma leader. At this time, let's put our hands together in gasho. Dharma school kids, remember, left hand, you, right hand, Buddha. Recite the Nembutsu after me. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namadab, Samadab, Samadab, Samadab. So you're welcome to go ahead and offer incense before you go to your classes, and thank you again for attending. I showed that I was live streaming, and I just did the stream.